Ladies and gentlemen, today we're having a look at a game played by Chovy on the Korean server, and the Chovster is up to a little bit of tricks lately, and he's figured out a way to get around the all ugly, the mid lane, Trist to the motherfucking Ana. So we have tried to deal with Tristana for a long time, and Tristana is, there's not a lot of champions in the mid lane that have fun against it. However, Chovy thinks this right here, Mr. K to the Ksante, the 500 years champion, with about every CC and tank ability in the game mashed into one character, and then also added a assassin on top. This guy might be able to deal with it as I'm so happy I'm alive to see this. I love how his team is like, no, we're gonna ambush this guy. He thought he had a friend, dude. We gotta... Oh, this is so great, though. Oh, that's such a cute emote as well. Oh, these emotes are so cute. Cute emotes. Cute emotes as hell. All right, so he's starting out with a Doran's shield, by the way. And by the way, in his team, there is T1 Gumayushi, together with a Heimerdinger support on the Varus, and the bot lane is Draven and Blitzcrank, the enemy bot lane. Tristana in the mid lane, obviously, with an Echo in the jungle and a Gragas in the top lane, firing off against a Nidalee and a Sion. Alright, so I have just casted a German game, and holy moly, I'm happy to be casting back in English, man. I don't know what it is, but the RPM of speech is so much higher in English for me at this point, which is crazy because I thought that my English casting was bad, but you know, I didn't realize that it was possible. Dude, honestly, such a good trade here for Chovy already, as he finds a huge damage timing. I would have been like, dude, that's so weird. I would have never expected this to just... What? Huh? He just proc Grasp of the Undying on an 80 carry. Level 2. No, level 1. What? I guess as she was fighting for priority of the wave, right? And he got it. And she wasn't expecting it. And then just got scammed by the Q ability, right? So we're gonna... double Q. Let's see how Tristana... He's definitely spacing around it. Yeah, Tristana did respect it. As we're gonna jump onto it, proc ourselves the Grasp of the Undying. And until now, the trade still was almost the entire time still favorable for Ksante. That's crazy. Yeah, there definitely is some potential in this pick, huh? Seems like a set type deal, right? Where you're just like an immovable force. And yeah, we are not going to be able to cancel. So the recall comes in with a neutral wave state as the teleport comes out of the Tristana, though. Teleport probably going to be popped by the man himself. I also love his passive aggressive little title here, as we are rocking a cloth armor and boots. Boots obviously really good as a melee fighting a ranged character in general, right? Helps you out with the spacing and the CSing. As in the bot lane, we have a little bit of a scuffle here. Nidalee will find the first blood onto the Blitzcrank as... Wow. Well, that worked out pretty well, actually, for the red team, with a much more valuable kill here onto the Draven, but... Huge pickup here by Good Game GG, aka Chovy, onto the Echo. Picks up a kill onto the Echo and will get himself out of this situation as well. Tristana with a fully stacked lethal tempo still. Not really doing a lot of damage to Ksante. And the Grasp of the Undying proc comes in. Level 5 available here for the Tristana. And Tristana not chasing further forward here in order to proc her bomb fully. Will be able to push in the wave now, and needs to be very careful not to get insect here. Dash would have been available, so he could have tried to fish for her. And now Tristana is just gonna, yeah, it's just gonna try to go for some tower platings. This Grasp of the Undying is procced here, and Chovy is looking for a kill, knocks Tristana into her, and the flash is popped by Tristana as the double kill goes down to the enemy Draven here. That is pretty unlucky. As I actually don't remember who wins this game. So in the beginning that I looked for these replays, I was like, dude, damn, man, it's so unlucky that people don't recommend me replays and stuff, because that way I would not know who wins, you know. But in this one, I then tried to figure out, you know, how to just look at the games without memorizing. And it works out pretty well, actually. As we are going for a plate here, we'll go back to the base now very late, which opens up a bit of a roaming angle here for the Tristana. We could decide to jump back on our... Yeah, not too bad, honestly. Control what has been placed as Chovy now punished for his insolence of pushing the tower plate. Insolence, great word. I learned it from Kiana. Okay, beautiful insect here as the ultimate will pull Tristana towards the Nidalee. The Echo counter again coming in. No stun possible here to the Echo as a kill onto the Tristana is taken down, and Nidalee with big damage will help the Ksante take down another enemy. This time taking the kill for herself. That is a 2-0 jungle duo. I mean 4-0 jungle duo, but 2-0 mid laner. 0 and 3 Echo is not doing best, and that is really bad because Nidalee, she can accelerate very, very quickly, and now that she's so close to level 6, once she hits level 6, gonna be very, very nasty. Nidalee, contrary to popular belief, is a level 6 champion as the top laner. Now showing up to the bottom lane, trying to aid this Gash down here in the bottom lane. And Draven will be taken down. Couple of stacks denied, but the damage has already been done. Draven is still very, very strong. As Nidalee now looking at a dive here. Dive would definitely be possible as Gragas will be doing a lot of damage to the tower as he did stack up a wave and a slow push. So the minions are going to do a lot of damage here to the tower. Yeah, he's doing good damage to the minions, enemy minions as well, which increases the DPS that the minions do to the tower. As Gragas, this is very important because your main damage to the tower is actually going to be the minions that you can stack up on it because you are a tank. And, you know, even if you're running Demolish once, that doesn't, you know, it doesn't make it much, much crazier. As very aggressive trades here in the mid lane. Now a plated steel caps and a chain west is available, and that is going to be difficult to work against. Because if tanks start snowballing, they start becoming pretty invulnerable to you. And with Echo being so low on gold right now, there is also not a lot of reason to build magic resistance. Gragas, the only one excuse I would say is a 1-for-1 trade here by the Draven. As Varus did go down first, which means that Draven again got his stacks cashed in, so he's fine with trading 1-for-1. As we are going to avoid the Echo bubble by finding the all-in angle onto him. All out is available as Echo will position himself to flash over the wall, to E over the wall. The flash over the wall by Ksante, and he will take down the Tristana. That is a 1v2 by Chovy onto the enemy mid and jungle on Ksante mid lane. As Nidalee will clean up the remaining bit of gold that was just sitting around here in the jungle, aka Echo, which at this point he isn't much more. You know, it's not having the best of times, the guy, as we are moving very quickly towards the Frostfire Gauntlet, as the bot lane has decided that they are going to take matters in their own hands and face off against the Ksante. Do you really want to try to deal with Ksante and a potential Heimerdinger in Nidalee, though? This could be very game changing if Draven ends up dying here a couple couple of times. And Blitzcrank, as we all know, Blitzcrank isn't the best at peeling for something like the Draven here. So if an Italy Spear hits, right, and the Ksante not... Oh! Proc's Grasp of the Undying onto the AD carry with Blitzcrank right there, being potentially able to hook him in. But it doesn't happen. The hook is missed. Point blank. As now, the Draven is respecting the Ksante Q. And this is where you can come into a difficult situation. But Draven just pushing out the wave instead of keeping the freeze and keeping the pressure on and denying this Ksante the ability to hit minions to stack his Q. He will just allow it and push out. As now, the dragon is probably going to be attacked here by the blue team. Recall being channeled by Chovy. That is because he has the Frostborn Gauntlet. It's Iceborne Gauntlet. I think I called it Frostfire Gauntlet before. The Iceborne Gauntlet, okay? As the Iceborne Gauntlet available to himself, together with plated steel caps, he is going to be a force to be reckoned with in any skirmishes. So I think for the red team, the goal would be to kind of just not take any fights while this guy is alive. Because, I mean, at this point, he can just steamroll you at any dragon fight. Could just barrel down on that AD carry and just take him out. Draven can't really outdamage. The Ksante at this current point in time, as he also has a Serrated Dirk, Caulfield's Warhammer, and Vampiric Scepter. So pretty build a carry workshop here. As we are going to find the Echo once again. All out is being channeled, and that is Tristana taking a lot of damage. Tristana will flash out of here, and the Draven is coming into this fight. The Draven ultimate will find the kill onto the Ksante as well, as Draven will also acquire the last hit onto the Scion, and that is absolutely atrocious here for the red team. Definitely not what you want. Nidalee, her jump is going to be cancelled, but she will still find the kill onto the Draven. A little bit of a weird spear will not find the Blitzcrank, and now Echo might be able to take a kill here onto the Nidalee. Yeah, gets the kill onto the Nidalee. Nidalee will go down, gives a lot of shutdown gold back to the enemy jungler, and he is back in the game with Draven, obviously getting a huge lead here as well. Gragas now has rotated into the bottom lane, and there is no dragon pick available here, unfortunately, for the bot lane. That is quite unfortunate, man. This is a rough situation. Gumayusi not having the best of times, but he is running the Lethality Varus, so as bad as it looks, eventually the ultimate into Yomu's Ghostblade acquired here as a first item. Obviously, just a lot of utility to get us to throw our ultimate at the Draven. So not a lot of damage coming out of this 180 carry in the future. However, this 180 carry will be able to set up fights and set up CC onto the Draven potentially, which is definitely a win condition here. Dragon will just be absolutely destroyed by the Draven at this point. Goodness me, dude. This Draven damage is insane. Essence Reaver now with Serrated Dirk and Vampiric Scepter and a pickaxe. This guy has so much money. It is incredible. As the Varus ultimate will not hit its mark, and that is a very bad flash used by the Heimerdinger and heal by Gumayusi. As the slow onto the Draven will not do enough, but create a little bit of opening here. Good game. GG XD. Has once again managed to take down his opposing mid laner. And will find himself in the base here. While a fight breaks out in the mid lane, Scion Q will be cancelled. However, the Nidalee Spear and the Varus Q will find the Draven, bully him out of this situation, and thus on the back end of this fight, Echo is picked up once again. Gragas now fighting the Scion. Will need a hand here, the Scion that is. Not the Gragas actually. As, I mean, you know, Gragas damage unfortunately not the highest. As a flash and Q, it's going to secure a kill to Scion. As Gumayusi will take this tower down for himself, but the enemy team is ready to retaliate, but Heimerdinger providing enough security here for the moment. As Gumayushi's still healthy enough to stay here a little bit. We are not going to go for the poke onto the Draven. We're going to go for the damage onto the wave. Just try to clear that out as the ultimate comes out. Instantly cleansed, and that is a flash by the Blitzcrank as he will stun and take down the Varus as well. Double kill here for the Draven, and that was such a quick and aggressive play. Gumayushi caught out. And that felt like T1. That felt like when T1 converges onto an enemy. That was very well done. Very aggressive. And it was very, very explosive, right? Not a lot of time to react for the enemy team. And anyone who survived was just left there standing, scratching their head and asking themselves, hey, where did my team go? I'm not sure what happened. Sign ultimate. Will come in. Literally finds the Draven. Very big. Will deal a bunch of damage as well with her Night Harvester, Needlessly Large Rod, and Hextech Alternator. Shadowfire is coming up soon. I am telling you, as Ksante obviously dominating that top lane, is going to push in another wave. Hasn't really been able to find a lot of fights right now. Running the Warden's Mail now together with the Aegis of the Legions, which is kind of weird, but he is running Warden's Mail and then transitioning into a double into the Gargoyle Stoneplate build here. Double resistances basically stack for him as the Nidalee Flash will secure the kill onto the Gragas. Now it's no longer available though for the rest of the fight as Draven will be overwhelmed here by a lot of people. Tristana now teleporting in. Do we really care about this Tristana who isn't very, very strong? I mean, you know, and Kraken Slayer is available, but that's not a lot. As to, wow, Gumayushi will be taking down the Draven here, who was left alone by his teammates. Tristana will pick up a kill here onto the Sion now running her down. Can't hide behind the turret as the flash is blown by Tristana. And Ksante will pick up a kill onto the Echo here. Now running down onto the Tristana as well. Tristana's best bet would be to trade someone, but won't find the trade as her cooldowns have all been expended. And the flash also not available anymore. And thus she will just be taken down here. And Ksante now 5-1 and 3 will have his Gargoyle Stoneplate probably available as well, which is great at, you know, creating a little bit more safety once you go all out. And will definitely allow him to pin down that AD carry. In the worst of situations, just pin down the AD carry and spend his time attacking this brick wall for a good amount of time, which should be enough for Guma and the rest of the team to do something here. Now, he is in a lot of trouble, though. He will find the all-out onto the Draven. Blitzcrank is trying to do his best to peel huge damage out of the Draven. Huge damage out of the Ksante as well, though, as he will take down 1v2. Will take down the enemy bot lane, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. If this was an Alistar, he wouldn't have had such a good time, but it was a Blitzcrank, and that Blitzcrank was not as useful to the Draven. Draven damage, unfortunately, not enough. Holy moly, this Ksante is one hell of a unit. Holy, dude. The damage on this guy when he goes all out is so ridiculous even after the nerfs. It just kind of blows my mind. Gumayushi, having not the best of games, will miss his ultimate once again. That's a cooldown blown for the dragon fight. Kind of unfortunate, as the Echo ultimate will also not be available. Dragon fight not really in the focus of the team right now, though. Gumayushi really wants to do it. Tristana wants to do Gumayushi. Yes. Kill Gumayushi, of course, is what I meant. Much more family friendly, right? And at least it would be allowed on American TV, right? Killing on American TV, totally fine. But the coalescence of two terrestrial beings, not so much. And, you know, as it is YouTube, we are kind of playing by these rules. As a kill onto this Tristana is secured once again. That should secure the dragon fight, which was a little bit delayed up in the top lane on the island. I mean, Sign will just go down. See, the Baus would have taken the minions with them at least. Bit of a misplay by the Sign, but, you know, we have managed to grab a kill for ourselves. Probably the best best dragon you can get at this current point in time. 9% ability haste and attack speed per stack is huge as a singular dragon. So the singular dragon buff is probably the best, as the rollout will pull out the Blitzcrank out of the turret, which is still on, you know, enough HP here to make this dive a little bit more difficult, as Chovy trying to juggle aggro of the Tristana and the tower, as both of these are considered NPCs to him. It's a kill onto the Tristana, but the beautiful Echo ultimate will deal a lot of damage to the Nidalee, and Nidalee will go down. That means 950 into the pockets of the Echo. As Gragas now ready to rock and roll, as the Cyan teleport mirroring Gragas will be able to deny any play here from the Gragas. And really, unfortunately, the Q came out there, and so no damage available for the Gragas, as the Gargoyle Stoneplate comes in handy to save Chovy's life once again. We are expecting a Frostfire Gauntlet here. No, it is going to be a Randuin's Omen. Out of all things, Randuin's Omen, very good item in general, especially versus crit users, of which, believe it or not, Draven is one. Yeah. Okay, so Cyan is very, very healthy. Just running the Jack Show, but will probably... He will actually get away here. Yeah, he will definitely get away. Beautiful job by the Heimerdinger there, peeling that out. And Draven. I mean, yeah. He's kind of not having the time of his life, you know? And it's sad because you started out so strong. And I mean, of course, he's not doing super poorly. But the problem is, it's going to be so difficult for you to deal with this tanky front line. And then you have Gumayusi sitting in the back. At this point, also very fed, right? Much more farm here than the counterpart, who's just lobbing spears at you and ultimates and just sitting tight while his team just barrels down on top of you. Cyan together with the Ksante sounds like a super scary prospect here. As the Nidalee also, right? One Nidalee spear hits and it is lights out. Which we are kind of still waiting for. Those like huge Nidalee spears. So far it's been Cougar form most of the time for her. As the Ksante now finding himself in 3 enemies. Still only at half HP, and that is because he went all out. He says, I will lose HP at my will, not at yours. As generally this trade goes in favor of the red team here, with Draven going down. And the Echo, as well as the Tristana being taken down here. With a trade only of the Ksante and the support. Pretty favorable trade here, as Gumayushi's been busy farming it up once again. The Herald will charge down the mid lane turret. Opens up the base here. Will not take the inhibitor though. Blitzcrank ready to give it a smack. 25 gold into the pockets of the Blitzcrank, as well as Nidalee. Having a little bit of fun here with the Gragas. We'll place some traps and some wards. And Blitzcrank is looking for a pickup here onto the Nidalee. Gotta be careful. Draven is further away than you think. Gragas is behind though. So we are going to silence the Nidalee. And the flash comes out and the heal comes out. And all of a sudden it is all turned around. As Chovy will find an angle onto this Draven once again. And Draven just not able to attack. Because this tank is on him and doesn't lose any HP, will run down the enemy AD carry once. Again, All Out still available here for Ksante. All Out will be procced now, as Tristana will get herself to safety momentarily, but we will pick up a kill onto the Tristana eventually, as well as Heimerdinger will not be able to get himself out of there, as another kill goes down onto the Echo here for... who is now a positive KDA 80 carry in Gumayusi. Didn't have the best of starts, but if you can rely on one thing, then on these pros to come back strong. Beautiful barrel combo here by the Gragas and Blitzcrank with a beautiful hook, securing a kill onto Gumayushi as he did go down eventually. Ugh, that was disgusting. Yeah, this is going to be rough, man. Because like you feel like you're an AD carry, you feel like you should deal a lot of damage to tanks, but realistically, the tanks just stop you from moving a lot of the time. But with very low HP, the Draven is gonna get away. Sign gets himself to safety as well. Chovy did go down indeed, as now a Negatron Cloak and a Winged Moonplate indicates a force of nature coming out, and this Ksante is going to be a force of nature indeed, especially after Chempunk. The Chemtech Dragon. Chempunk. The Chemtech Dragon is going to be picked up here by the Nidalee as well. Now Soul Point is the next, staring down the red team here. Still, you know, about 10-ish minutes until the Soul is really going to be an issue, so do keep that in mind. As a Baron, much more likely to be the game-deciding objective here. A Sion thrown into the enemy team. He will live for long, but is it long enough? As he will go down the passive, will create a little bit of space here. As Tristana will be able to live, though the Nidalee all-in did not find her, as we are doing our best to poke out this red team. But with Sion going down, our front line still not arrived at this play. We can't really pick a fight here as the blue team. Unfortunate. But avoidable. Very avoidable, but Sion obviously had to try to go for that Q cheese as a tank Sion, because that would have changed the fight. As the blue team just starting a Baron called just a casual. They're not gonna check it, right? As we are going to commit for the 50-50, and Echo not in range to play the 50-50 here. Did get the memo pretty slowly, and that is just a solo queue Baron call, as the Baron is just taken down here by the blue team. And now a fight converging over, pretty much just ending the game. This is what the blue team wants to do. Beautiful engage here by the Echo, but he will not find the ultimate button, and so his team is left in the dirt without the Echo available to themselves. And Tristana will go down once again, as the Draven still available will have to recall, as he is reasonably out of position in this fight. And we are with 2 men chasing down the Gragas instead of ending, because pro player, absolute pro player. All right, well, the one reliable man, Mr. Gumayushi, will be found in the mid lane trying to do what he's supposed to do. The other reliable man in the top lane doing what he is supposed to do as well. Is Guma. Please do not Guma this. Guma'd. Guma always Gumas. Why does the Guma always Guma is the question. It could have been so beautiful, but Guma. Man, that testosterone pumping through the veins. It's too much. As Nidalee will pick up a double kill. Ridiculous damage out of the Nidalee. And, well, Echo will be left standing, as this time he did find the ultimate button. Sion is knocking on the door. And with door, I mean turret. And with knocking, I mean clapping and chopping. And he will take down the turret eventually. The minions have been destroyed, so the turret did gain a little bit of resistance. Yeah, Echo feeling himself. Ultimate is available. Gragas is barreling in. And a beautiful Sion ultimate will make him unstoppable and get him out of that situation. No side ultimate available for the next minute. Not a problem for the man, though, as you know, not really any objectives that we have to fight over. As Dragon coming up in 3 minutes or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. Should be something about that. As generally, this Gragas looked better earlier. And then team fighting occurred, and somehow he didn't really find the connections and the team fights, and he kind of arrived a little bit late at a lot of them as well. Bit of an unfortunate situation. Also didn't really get a lot of money out of it, which is very difficult to deal with always. as the red buff goes over to the Draven, the more reliable AD carry out of both of them. Although, given the fact that we are facing off against Cyan and Kissa, Tristana will just go down. Draven will just go down. And so, like the dominoes, they fall. Super high damage here out of the Nidalee, taking down the Gragas in the blink of an eye. As Chovy, together with his jungler, will take down the last remaining member of the enemy team. And thus, the game has been GG'd. And it has been a good game. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And stay awesome!